Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another transfer news show. Chelsea still on the search for a midfielder. Chelsea still trying to sign Malagusto, who we're going to talk a bit later on in the show as well. Chelsea still trying to be active in this market as of what we're being told. We're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez, Malagusto. We're going to talk about Caicedo. We're going to start off with obviously Thiago Silva, a bit of João Felix, etc. We're going to get basically just going to bring ourselves up to date. We're going to bring ourselves up to date on everything that's happening right now. Once we've gone through that, a big calling show today. Open discussion, giving you guys the opportunity to come in and have your say on everything Chelsea, everything where we stand to this point. Now, what are we, a week away? Just over a week away until the end of the window. What will Chelsea do? Will we see one more signing come in? Well, could we potentially see two? Or will we see none? What is Todd Bowley's plans? What are Eghbali's plans? Where are we going? Don't get me wrong. It's exciting times at Chelsea. It is really exciting times at Chelsea. But it's trying to understand where we're going and what we're doing and what's next. And we're all kept on sort of the edge of our seats at the moment. Not sure the next step of what Chelsea are going to do. We know that we like to suddenly react and just sign players. And we've seen it in the past with a Mudryk, which was done in 8 to 10 hours. With a Madueke, even though we was linked to, got, just dropped on us that he had been signed. Maybe Todd Bowley and Eghbali are doing the same thing as we speak right now, trying to get these things done. And we're going to talk about them. Like I said, Malagusto, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, all of these top players that are linked to this football club. It is exciting times for Chelsea, but it definitely is definitely for the future. And even the summer that we've got coming ahead. And we are going to go through everything right here, along with opening the lines. But before we move forward, let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. Chelsea still being active in the market. We've got I don't know how much we've got left. Is it just over a week left or so of this transfer window? Still lots of talks in and around Chelsea trying to get business done, especially in the midfield area. Midfield area is somewhere where they are pushing. They're trying to get a Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. We're going to talk about all that. And also Malagusto. But I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. There's over 200 people here already. Big up to every single one of you guys. The lines are going to be opened up as well to give you guys an opportunity to come in and have your say. This is quite funny, actually. If Jem keeps growing his hair, it will look like Malagusto in a thumbnail. That's true. That is true. Big up to Untaken C. He said he's pissed off with Chelsea. We're not going to get a central midfielder in this window. Same every season. Never get our main targets. We'll panic and buy someone we don't want. But there's talks about Chelsea potentially looking, if they can't get the two players that they want on the right price, at a potential loan move. And we're going to look into that a bit later on. We're definitely going to talk about that. But I hear you, Undertaker, seriously. Big up to Santiago as well. RJP says, yes, Jem, what you're saying. Big up to you, my guy. I hope you will. RD's back in the house as well. He says, Kakare along with Gusto transform Chelsea into title challengers as his opinion. Big up to Steve as well. Big up to Goutinho. Is that your name? Goutinho? I like that. It's quite a nice name. We have started the show. We're alive. Big up to Sirs. Big up to Alijo. Big up to KSA Man. Andreas is in the house as well. Big up to him. Man like Catman, sorry. What's going on, bro? Hope you're well. Big up to Don. He said, Brighton and Benfica trying to fleece us. It feels like that, doesn't it? And probably part of why Chelsea trying to push for these, and we know are the main two targets from what we've been told, maybe harder, is because the Benficas and the Brightons don't want to lose their players. And I keep telling you guys this on every time we do a show. No club wants to lose their most prized assets in a January market. And if they are, they ideally want to place them, or they're going to just charge stupid money. And that's what it feels like at the moment, Dom. But we're going to get into it. Big up to Nian. COC Pezlord as well. Shall we forget about buying a midfielder and promote Andre Santos? I've been watching bits of Andre Santos, but again, I don't think he's, is he ready to come straight into the Chelsea team, first team? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Still very young. Looks got good prospects. Looking forward to the future of Chelsea and the players that we brought in as well. Big up to Devin in the house as well. We move on from Caicedo and Enzo. They're not worth half of that. Is what Sky Shooter feels. Daniel says London is red. Definitely ain't, mate. Definitely ain't red. It definitely ain't red, mate. All right, I'll give you that one. Can not give you that one. Big up to Fraser as well. Vivell's pissed Benfica off. Why? Why has he pissed him off? All right, obviously with the first negotiations, maybe. Ashraf is playing been on army duty for 3 days and he's back in the house. Big up to you. Yeah, that's just a typical Arsenal comment, isn't it, mate? You just wish you was a Chelsea fan. It's not our fault that you were born into this world to be an Arsenal fan, that you made the wrong decision in life, Daniel. It's not our fault that you picked the short straw. Mate, that's not our fault. Don't come over here blaming Chelsea fans and being salty. You wish you could have been what Chelsea have been, or have been at least seen what Chelsea have won up to this point and been a Chelsea fan, my friend. It is what it is, Daniel. It is what it is, but big up to you anyway. Big up to you. Big up to Emery as well. Big up to Hendrick. Big up to Matty. JP's in the house as well. Nearly 300 people in the chat already. Big up to all of yous. Logic, sign Enzo, please. Mohammed is also here. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you as well. Gabriel, we just need a creative midfielder who can decide games like Fabregas. And that's why Enzo Fernandez is so important. And I keep stressing the importance of signing Enzo Fernandez. And it will be made harder in the summer. Because if FFP do put that cap on contracts to 5 years, it's going to make it even harder for us to spread the costs if we are trying to agree an installment with Benfica. Maybe this is the time Chelsea need to act. Will they act? Well, this is what we're going to go through. We've got a couple of tabs to go through above. I'm just going to finish off here and then we're going to go through them. Todder's got our attack and defence stacked. Yes, but we need to sort the midfield out. That's true. Mate, this guy's so salty, isn't he? Definitely not Fabrizio Romano. I don't do any of this. All I do is report on what they're saying and decide whether we think it's going to happen or not. This is what we do on my show. This is why we debate this stuff and talk about it as a panel and give our thoughts and opinions. We are all in the dark when it comes to these things. Who else have we got here? I still believe in Enzo deal because River Plate will also be pushing for a deal to happen. Whether it's now the summer's the big question. Grey Stinner on that one. Big up to you. Tank, nice to see you. Who else we got here, man? It's everyone. I'm going to be here all day. Arsenal fans should not be allowed here. Well, let's be serious. We've got an Arsenal fan in the chat watching a Chelsea stream. That says it all, doesn't it? That says it all. He just wished he was a Chelsea fan. What is my thoughts on making Reece James at a DM? No, is the answer to that. Reece James is needed in the right back area. That is his best position. That is where we have been successful. That's where we supposedly at the moment look very balanced when he's back. We've been told that in the Fulham game, Reece James will be appearing at some point throughout that game, should be back for that game, which is good news for us as well. But as a DM, no. But we've got to bear in mind, guys, and we're going to talk about it in a second. Kovacic will be back. Jorginho's never injured. He's always fit. And N'Golo Kante could be back in between mid-Feb, beginning of March as well. So let's see. Well, who are our next options when we miss out on Enzo and Caicedo? Good question. And the answer to that, Eric, is I don't have a goddamn clue. I genuinely don't. I know there's talks around us looking at potential loanees. Not any names as of yet. I've heard people talking about Kone from Borussia and Mönchengladbach. I've seen some other people mentioning Camera and others, etc., etc. So I don't know. Maybe Chelsea don't sign a midfielder. Maybe Chelsea only want the prioritised midfielders, which unfortunately are going to cost a bit. And maybe they feel that if they can't do it in January, maybe they have to wait to the summer. Big up to Soham as well. Nice to see you. Bantu, everyone that's here. I'm going to be here all day if I go through all this chat. Big up to every single one of you. I find it odd. No other big clubs are after Enzo. Have you heard of any? JP, we know you don't like Enzo Fernandez, all right? We know you don't like Enzo Fernandez, brother. It's fine. The reason no one's coming in for Enzo Fernandez in January is because, obviously, price tag, but probably because at this point they don't actually need midfielder. Maybe in the summer when they decide to offload players and they want to look at bringing in players, that is where they'll look at someone like Enzo Fernandez. And that's where I think they will. But Chelsea, on the flip side of it, are in dire need of a midfielder. We need to have strength in depth in that position. And on top of that, we need that type of profile, which is what Enzo Fernandez is, which I keep saying there's only one other person that has that sort of profile, which is Frankie de Jong. So, yeah, man, big up to you. Big up to you, my man. Big up to Deals in the house as well. Nice to see Deals and everyone else. Right, let's get into things. I've just done 11 minutes of just talking to you guys, but I like doing that. I like mixing with you guys in the chat. Big up to JP that says, I get it. I just don't think he's worth the price. That's fair enough, mate. I agree. Price tag on the price tag side of things. I think it is a lot of money. Right, let's get into things. Let's start with the El Monstro Thiago Silva, reportedly set to extend his contract at Chelsea for another season, guys. How happy are you with the fact that Thiago Silva could be a Chelsea player until he goes to 39, from what I believe? How do you feel about that? I'll tell you how I feel. Ecstatic. I do not care about his age. I know some fans are worried about an old player being this, that, and the other, but from what he showed us on the pitch, the consistency levels, the control, the class, we don't have that in our team, that class that he has in our team and we have in that team at the moment, but we will have to move on from him eventually. However, if we can get him for another season at this football club, next to a Badiashile, next to a Wesley Fofana, maybe with Koulibaly, gaining the experience and learning from the best of a dying breed of centre-back. And he is a dying breed of centre-back. Yeah, he's class. He's absolutely class. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says. Then why not? And even if that means we slow down his minutes and he doesn't play as much as he has done, which we've forced him into playing, we still want to have that type of leader, that type of player, that type of quality in and around this football club. And that is what Thiago Silva is to Chelsea. Yeah, I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it. And you guys in the chat, over 300 of you here at the moment, smash the like for Thiago Silva. That's all I'm going to say. I've not even said hit the likes yet. But if everyone loves Thiago Silva and they want him here for another year, I want everyone to smash that thumb below now. Let's see how many likes we can get from hitting that thumb. Over 100 people on GNA TV, but only 30 likes, guys. Come on. Smash a like for Thiago Silva. Smash a like if you want him to stay at Chelsea. And the same at Chelsea Fan TV as well. It's over 217 of you guys there. Smash them thumbs. Smash the thumbs for the El Monstro. Yeah, look at them likes go up on Chelsea. I love that. Come on, guys. You could smash that over 100 likes easily, Chelsea Fan TV. If everyone hits the likes there now, it's over 220 views. Get it done. And the same with GNA TV. Get them likes up, man. Get them likes up. Thiago Silva will be future Chelsea coach, is what Jack says. Thiago will create the beast out of Badiashile. Yeah, maybe this is what I'm saying. Experience, learning from the best. Learning from the best. Get them likes run up, like Dills is saying as well, guys. Please. Best thing of keeping Silva is the knowledge he gives to our young defender. That is it. That is literally it. This is why the El Monstro needs to be with us. He's a Chelsea look, mate. He is. I'm sorry. I don't care. I would love it if he stayed and we actually won the league with him here. I really would. I would, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately, in his time. But who knows? Who knows, guys? Who knows? Smash the like for another year of De Silva being the person that calls players out. Big up, man. Big up to, yeah, that's true as well. That is actually true. She does actually call players out. Well, N'Golo Kante, we're going to talk about him in a bit. He's obviously looking, from what we've been told, mid-Feb, beginning of March, is what we've been told. Fofana and Badiashile is what Wes is saying. Yes, but imagine having him around, man. Imagine having the El Monstro completely around. Let's move on. because I want to fly in through feeds quickly. We're going to open up the lines as well. Nearly 400 people here, 15 minutes in. Big up to all of you guys. Let's talk about, where is it? Where's he gone? Where have you gone, mate? Come back. Come back. What have I done with it? No. Oh, it's up here. There we go. I found it. Let's just quickly talk about João Felix, because you keep hearing a lot of rumours in and around him. And obviously, we know he's on a short-term loan. Fabrizio Romano on YouTube has quoted saying, if Felix tells Madrid, I am happy at Chelsea, I am going to Chelsea, then Madrid will know that they will have to find a way with Chelsea. I'm not going to lie, but that is quite a dumb statement from Fabrizio Romano. I'm not trying to call him out or anything, but that is a little bit of a dumb statement. The contract that between Atletico and Chelsea for his short-term loan doesn't have any option to buy in it, but we've been told there's a clause that can be activated. We've not been actually told whether that's true or not. The player will still have to go back to Atletico Madrid at the end of it. Let's be serious, right? But then it'll be down to the player to force himself out of there. Now, if he goes back and says, I am done at Atletico Madrid, which I've got a feeling he probably might want to when he looks at all the young talent around him, the way that we play football, why the hell is this guy going to want to go back to Atletico Madrid and play dead ball when he could be playing in the Premier League, having the free role, being free, and being created for, playing with top quality players? The mindset is what I'm trying to get is the mindset and the common sense answer to this is that he should want to. Now, the only reason he might not want to is that over this 6-month period, it don't really work for him in terms of his actual ability profile fit in the Premier League. And he decides, you know what, actually, I'm not feeling the Premier League. I'm just going to go back to the Spanish League. That's the only ring. But I don't see that happening. Because he can see the project. He can see where we're going. He's still very young himself. He's wasted 3 years at Atletico Madrid, scoring 10 goals in 2 seasons in the league. Not scoring many goals. This is a boy that was banging in goals, in the Portuguese league. He's got the chance to be a part of a project at Chelsea. Why is he not? Why would he not? Why would he not want to? So it's common sense, isn't it? Really, is what I'm saying. If the guy wants to come Chelsea at the end of the window and he doesn't want to go Atletico, he goes back there and says, "I don't want to go. I don't want to stay here. Get me, get dealing with Chelsea. I want the move." And then they talk to Chelsea and then we negotiate. It's common sense. There's nothing more to that. There's nothing more to that. So let's see what I mean. Yeah, that's the only thing. Spain is warm and sunny. Yeah, that's a good shout. Water is wet. Oh, Musa. He's playing criminal football. Exactly. There's no he's playing criminal football in Atletico. Why the hell is he not going to want to stay at Chelsea when you look at where we're going with things, the project, the idea, the philosophy, the young players around him, the youth players, what they want to do? Seems to be attracting all the youngsters anyway. Of course. Josh's boy. Big up to him. So let's move away from João Felix. I just wanted to say that. I saw it earlier on and I was like, I'm going to say something about that one. That's just a weird comment. Anyway, and going on to the back of the squad and what we were just speaking about in João Felix, we're seeing little things like this with Reece James and Mudryk. Same game, new levels loading. And then obviously Mudryk responding with loading as well. We were already told about the energy around the Chelsea camp changing. And there's a lot of various reasons as to why that is changing. On top of the owners still trying to do more. Malo Gusto, potentially a midfielder if we get it done, if we commit to it. We're going into February, guys, with Mudryk, Madueke, the potentials of Malo Gusto, a Reece James returning, a Ben Chilwell returning, a Wesley Fofana returning, and N'Golo Kante returning. These are all huge players for this club. These are players of real importance, especially now the 2 that we've signed as well, that are going to give us direct pace and dribbling ability. We'll see how they get on, being more consistent. But in terms of the core of the squad, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, and N'Golo Kante, and now having the option of Wesley Fofana, which maybe means that Thiago Silva doesn't have to play every single goddamn game, even though I want him to a degree. Of course, there's a hype and a buzz around it, and like James said, there, new levels loading. It's because the club is now moving in the right way. They're now filling in, specific profiles in the squad that is now going to take us to becoming a lot stronger. Now, where it takes us in the short term is a big question. I'm not too sure, where Chelsea will find themselves this season with everything that's gone on. But I do expect a big next part or end of the season. I expect us to be playing a lot better. I want to see Graham Potter's systems now. I want to see this type of football that we want to play. We got Champions League football against Borussia Dortmund. Competition. Something that we should all be up for. Players that are available that can play. I'm not sure about Mudryk and Madueke. I'm not sure if I've not checked. I think they should be fine. João Felix, I believe, is fine to play as well. There's a lot for us to be positive about, as shit as it is. And I see rivals yesterday saying to her, why are Chelsea fans so upbeat and like in dreamland? This is what they're saying. Why are they in dreamland? Are they not looking at the table? They're sitting in 8th. They're sitting in 9th. They're sitting in 10th. Yeah, they're right. We are sitting in a shit position at the moment. Yeah. And partly to do with the performance levels of some of the players and the injuries as well. But looking at but understanding the fact that we're in a position where we kind of concede in the fact that this year is just a write-off, and we understand where we are as a football club and what we're trying to do, and then we look at what the owners are doing and how we're trying to improve, and then you look at the potentials of players coming back into this squad. This is all the things that we should be looking, should be looking forward to as Chelsea fans. This is what I'm saying, man. Big up to everyone here. 450 of you here, as always. Big up. Get the likes up. Let's close the gap to 200 likes, guys, if we can. We're going to go on to transfer talk, and we're going to open up them lines as well today and get people involved. 317 people on Chelsea Fan TV. Only 105 likes, guys. Let's get them likes up. 150 people on GNA TV. Again, guys, only 50 likes. I know we can do better than this. Come on, please get this up to 100 likes on GNA TV as well if you're watching over there. That would be a massive, massive help. Of course they are. Of course they are, Tank. Big up to you as well, bro. Big up to you. So, yeah, positive times ahead. Like Trevor said, positive times ahead, guys. Let's ignore what the rivals have to say. Let's stick together. Yes, it's been hard. Yes, we have our preferences on players that we like and don't. But ultimately, going into February, we've got a lot of players returning, providing we keep them fit, along with players also also being included, and João Felix back after the Fulham game, I believe. Is it just the Fulham game? Yeah, the Fulham game. After the Fulham game, he'll be back. We're going for it, man. We're going for it. We are going for this shit. Right, let's get into some transfer talk, shall we? What is going on with Chelsea, man? What are we going to do? What are we going to do at the end of this window? Are we going to see any more? Are we going to see any more signings from Todd Boehly and co? What are they going to surprise us with next? What is the next Ornstein dagger? What is the next here we go from Fabrizio Romano going to be? Well, we're going to start with the comments in and around Caicedo. Now, we've been told by Miguel Delaney today, and it was today's tweet that he put out, saying that Brighton have a bid rejected for Haidara of RB Leipzig, potentially looking as Moises Caicedo's replacement. Brighton interest could ease their stance on the availability of Caicedo, who has attracted interest from Chelsea. Now, we've had a bit of a mixed, some mixed tweets in regards to Caicedo, I'd say, in the last day or two. If Brighton want to keep the player, why are they looking to bring in other midfielders? Are they worried that Chelsea are going to trigger the payments? Are they already had discussions with Chelsea to say, you can have him, but let us just quickly sort him out? But we've not heard that yet. That could also be a case. And Chelsea have already said, look, we're going to give you X amount, which is kind of forced him out into the market. And it goes back to what I said. They won't want to lose their best players. And if they are going to lose them, they're going to get a lot of money on them. And on top of that, they need to replace. And if they can replace, they'll do it. But it's very hard to do in the January market. So have Chelsea laid down what they can do or will do before the end of the window for Caicedo and given Brighton a bit of time to try and maybe fill the gap, if this is true, and they have tried to approach Leipzig for Haidara? Maybe. And then we go on to some of the other conflicting tweets that we've received in regards to Caicedo, which is this. So again, from Nizar Kinsella, Brighton and Benfica have refused to engage in negotiations this week with Chelsea's main midfielders Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea might explore short-term options on the loan before signing a top target in the summer. So we're being, and again, we're going to get to it in a second. I'll stick to this tweet for now, but we're now being told that they're not even not even willing to negotiate with Chelsea or sit down with Chelsea. Is it because of the way Chelsea approaching the negotiations with them? Maybe the way we're setting out the structure of the deals. Let's just say they're just thinking, stop wasting our time. On the flip side of it, if Chelsea don't want to meet Caicedo's or Enzo Fernandez's fees in any way, then maybe the option is to look for a short-term loan and bring someone in. But I don't really think I'm sure if I want that. And again, it's going to fall down to specific profile. We've done the same thing like they used Zakaria as an example in the way that we brought him in. Do you remember last season? It was out of the blue. We were sitting on this show with players and Fabrizio Romano said live while we was live that Chelsea have agreed a deal for Zakaria. Are we going to get that kind of response? We know that it's a priority for us. But if it's that much of a priority, why are we not laying the money? Now, I know the money's a lot. I get it. But the midfield is a real big issue for Chelsea. And it's not that they're neglecting it at the moment, the owners, but they obviously have an idea of how they want to structure this and what they want to do with it. It's just, are we going to do that in this window? And I keep saying, and I've said it, we're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez next, but I don't think we want to spend that kind of money in the January window, even though I think the common sense answer to this, if this is true from what we've read in regards to FFP, is that if they're going to cap contracts for 5 years from summer moving forward, the common sense answer would be, well, maybe we just have to commit to getting the player now and use the lengthy 6, 7, 8 year contracts and get the players in now so that we can spread the costs. Maybe that's what's triggered this all of a sudden, the news in around Enzo Fernandez because of FFP and the response to summer. But there's a lot at the moment. There's a lot of if and buts, and that's the issue. There's a lot of if and buts. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? People were talking. I know what you guys are talking in the chat about, but we'll come back to that in a second. All right, he's talking about. All right, I get what you're saying. Right, cool. But yeah, there's a lot of if and buts. How are we going to approach it? What we're going to do? It's all basically what I'm saying to you guys is it's all up in the air. But then we get another conflicting report from Duncan Castles, who we know quite well from the time, saying that Brighton value Moises Caicedo at 100 million when we were told 75 million plus. And then we saw the interview with the director of Brighton saying they actually value him a bit more, or saying more than that. They're not said the figure. Maybe if this is true, maybe this is a scare employ again, a bit like Benfica, a scare employ to say, look, actually, we can't afford to lose this guy. We're not going to be able to replace him in the January window. But is that going to scare off Chelsea? And I've given you 3 different tweets, 3 different scenarios, and it could be one of them 3, or it could be none of them 3. like this is what we do. We go through the tweets, we break it down, try and understand what they mean. Try and work out whether it's true or false. I mean, I'm not saying Duncan Castle's a liar. He might be right. They might value him at 100 million. A club might value players a lot more than what they are in the market value. So it might be a case that Brighton look at him and go, well, we actually value him at 100 million, but they know they can't get 100 million for him. The cap, and that's where they would negotiate for maybe a 70, 75 mil deal for Caicedo. But what are Chelsea doing? What is the plan? Because ideally, I would love us to go and get one midfielder now and one midfielder in the summer. Equally, they're just going to, and I know it sounds stupid, I think that cut the long story short, I think we're just going to have to spend the dough. At the same time, I'm a little bit reluctant in us doing that. I think maybe, could we wait to the summer, have more of a negotiating period for both players if we want both players or one of the players? Maybe we do that. But then, does it muck up the idea of the way that they're setting up the structures? Because if the FFP do set a 5-year clause on it, and we've still got to pay 120 million for Enzo in summer, and Moises Caicedo has a smashing year, and they want nearly 80 to 100 million. Things don't change. You can negotiate, but the price don't change. So how are they going to approach this? That's the big question mark. How are they going to attack this midfield situation? What are all these links that people? Yeah, Jim, the plans don't get exhausted. I get that. And I get why they would hold. I get why they would hold back in many ways to committing. But there's a lot of other things that we've got to think of in regards to these deals. And even if we wait to summer and we are able to negotiate, there's the potential that we might not be able to put them on lengthy long-term contracts anymore. So to spread the costs and it make it maybe easier for us against the FFP, do we actually have to just commit to one of these players and pay the blimmin' money, even though it's a lot of money? That's my thing. That's my question mark with it. That's my question mark with the whole thing. Over 550 people here. Big up to every single one of you guys that are tuned in at the moment. Let's get these likes up. Let's try and get up to 200 likes on both channels. We're going to open up the lines as well very soon to give you guys a chance to get involved. But need more likes, guys. So please hit the thumbs. Please subscribe as well. GNA TV, which is my channel, is on the road to 10K subscribers. We're nearly there, but I just need your guys' support. I need your guys' support on that. And on Chelsea Fan TV, we're on 171K subscribers on the road to 200K. Something that we're going to try and do or try and close very soon. So, yeah, please subscribe to both channels if we can, but also hit the likes as well. Right, let's move away from that. And then we're going to talk about quickly what Fabrizio Romano quickly said as well. Let's quickly have a look at this. What Fabrizio Romano said. And via Piers as well. He says that Chelsea are prepared to do something in the final 2 days of the window. If they don't land Enzo or Caicedo, maybe a surprise name. Remember Zakaria? Chelsea are ready. So Fabrizio Romano seems to think that if we don't get our two main targets, we're still going to end up signing someone. And that slightly worries me if it's just a loan again. Because that tells me we're just going to probably have a hat full of names, put a hand in it and pull it out. And I don't want seconds and thirds and fourths and tenths. Second, third, fourth, tenth. We ain't got tenths. So second, third. I don't want third or fourth options. Sorry. I don't want third or fourth options. I don't want that. I want us to get our targets. But, that's like you said, that's an if. If they don't go for Enzo or Caicedo, do not be surprised in the last 2 days if Chelsea go for loan moves. But who the hell can we go for on a loan move? Christian, thank you for the €5 donation, but you've not said anything. So I don't know if it's something you wanted to say, bro. But you've not said anything for the super chat. But big up to you, man. Thank you for doing that. John Anderson says Jem is a real man. Big up to you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for being a member as well. Appreciate it. Gary, nice to see you, man. He says have faith in the process. Seems they have a plan, and this is why I'm waiting, because as much as we're talking about. What could we do? And I'm digging into the tweets and giving you different thought processes to what I think they mean, which is just my thought process. At the same time, they could be doing, like I said to you, they could be well ahead with what they're trying to do. They could have maybe pushed Brian to say, look, we're going to give you this money. We'll give you a bit of time to sort out what you need to sort out. If you want to replace, do it. We won't say anything. Like, it could be that. We don't know. It could be that we've got the money ready for Enzo Fernandez and we're just leaving it a bit and trying to play a bit of bit of cat and mouse, which I don't see the point of, because we already know that Benfica want the release clause. I don't know. We could be doing so many things. Galib, big up to you, bro. Nice to see you in the chat. He says, I'm trusting in Vivell. If we don't get midfielder this window, we'll see why. Just don't panic. Yeah. Trust. I mean, we've got a board now. We've got a team. I guess. We're going to have to just give them the time. They're showing us actions. They're trying to get things done. And that's the one thing I will say. They are showing ambition, the owners. They are showing ambition. We're going to get to Gusto very soon. Just going through the chat. If you listen to Steinberg, Chelsea don't want to look fooled by price tag. Yeah, but that's normal. I get that. Big up to Honourable Dixon as well. Nice to see you, man. Thank you for being in the chat as well. The contrast between the summer and winter transfers should give everyone an idea of what is to come. They're working. They are working, and we've seen, deals being done out of the window where they're just like, tomorrow we're asleep, so we open our eyes the next day and bang, Chelsea have agreed to deal with this one. Chelsea are going to do a deal with that one. agreement in place, meeting this, meeting that, Ornstein, Dagger, Fabrizio Romano. Done. Unless I get anything from them, I ain't really interested. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really interested from much of what most other people say, even though we go through the tweets. I can't. I just can't do it. Enzo Fernandez, where are we at with it? Well, Fabrizio Romano says this. Chelsea have approached Benfica for Enzo Fernandez 1 week ago, but no changes. Rui Costa has been very clear again. 120 million euros or nothing. No fresh proposal made as things stand and no contracts with Benfica. So this proposal that Chelsea are going to go, proposed thing of Chelsea are going to go in with a new offer may still happen. Maybe there is an element of truth to that. Or maybe they just ain't. Maybe the Enzo Fernandez and Chelsea thing is not happening. Maybe the door's closed on that. Maybe the other option we got is maybe we try and get him done for summer and we try and do an Nkunku type deal. We try and tie Benfica and the player down to us. Agree a larger installment, which they're going to want in some way, 50, 60, 70 mil. And say, look, you know, we need the player now. You guys aren't willing to let the player go. You keep the player out of courtesy. Look after him, you know. Keep him all right, fine, no problem. But this is what we're going to do. And you've got to, you know, we want you to agree to what we want to do with him in the summer. Maybe. We don't know. That could be one of the things we're trying to do. Maybe this is a summer setup for Enzo Fernandez. I don't know. But like I said to you, it will, in many ways, make things slightly harder with FFP coming in with a 5-year contracts and capping. So, I don't know is the answer to this. We do not know. We've also got this comment here from Simon Phillips, who says, according to the Times, Chelsea astonished Benfica by formally offering to meet Benfica's 106 million asking price for Enzo Fernandez in December, only to attempt to negotiate the fee down in January. We know this. You know, and now that a Chelsea journo's come out and confirmed this and said it, and it's not just come from a Benfica coach's mouth, which is what we've heard, doesn't surprise me. Again, what annoys me with that, and people go, yeah, but it's a negotiating thing, like every owner does it. I get it. But you know the strict rule is that they want X amount of money and they want either an installment plan with a bigger thing up front. Why the hell would you offer them a contract that totals up to 90 million or 80 million and not get nowhere? And then fizz off, you know? And that's the thing. I get we're trying to negotiate it. I get the whole, you know, that's how business works. You know, it's a bit of a bidding war. But I don't know. A lot happened in that period, you know, with Enzo Fernandez not training with them, sitting aside, talking about going to Argentina, waiting for Chelsea. You know, like they've obviously told him as well. You know, that they've obviously told him as well that they're going to do something. And then all of a sudden he's back in the team and he's playing well and kissing the shirt. And I don't know, man. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I saw that, Josh. I saw that comment from Barcelona saying that they're looking at Enzo Fernandez with what? What money? What money are you going to get Enzo Fernandez with, man? What are you doing? Rui Costa is just showing his ego and stupidness. They rejected 80 million bid. I hope they realise that nobody's going to pay 120 mil plus for Enzo in the summer. 60, 80 mil max is what we're saying there. We've got a donation from Top Dog RLG. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chats. Gem, interesting hypothetical. Would you sign Enzo if it meant we couldn't sign Felix on a permanent deal in the summer? 1,000,001, 100%. I will stamp it today. Yes. I mean, I'm probably the worst person to ask this question because it's not that I don't like João Felix. I need to see more of him. But I just know that there's not many profile players out there that is Enzo Fernandez. That is Enzo Fernandez. I am telling you now, we get this guy. We are solving, I don't say all of our issues because I still think we need one more in there. But we are solving our midfield issues massively. Something that we've not had in such a long time at this club. The vision to be able to spread the ball left and right comfortably, demand, control, be progressive, be able to shoot outside the box, man. This guy can shoot outside the box. When's the last time we see a midfielder at Chelsea be able to shoot outside the box? You know, he contributes to goal. You can play him in an 8 role, even though I think he'll play in a pivot. I think Chelsea's idea moving forward will be to play a pivot, 2 6s. So, yes, I want Enzo Fernandez at all costs. I don't expect everyone to agree with this. This is just, again, a preference that I want at Chelsea. Over 600 people here right now. Big up to you, Zul. Thank you for the donation, though, Top Dog. Big up to you, man. But yeah, the answer is yes to that. The answer is yes to that. Right. One more thing that we got a couple of hours ago from Dean Jones Soccer on Give Me Sport. He says that Todd Boehly is very good at coming up with new negotiation tactics. So there is still a possibility that Enzo Fernandez still lightens up again. So again, he's just given an if and a but, as most of them are doing at the moment. We've seen that Chelsea can negotiate very well. We've seen it already. You know, they will try and find ways to maneuver around getting what they want. 100%. Of course they will. Question is, will they do it? And that's the answer we want, right? I want to be able to do a show where we come on here and I say, we've signed fucking Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo and this is what we've done. You know, at the moment, with the transfer shows, we're having to sort of read tweets and assume and try and work out, is it no, yes? What do we think? Will we do it? You know, that's where we're at the moment with midfield. And it's a shame because we've neglected midfield for so long. You know, since 2018, we haven't improved this midfield. And I want us to improve this midfield massively. Massively. 650 people in the chat and growing. Nearly 700 of you guys here, man. Big up to every single one of you guys in here. We are going to open up the lines in about 10 minutes now. 10 minutes. We're going to open up the lines and get you guys in as well. Charlie with the donation in the house. He says, transfer ban incoming, 400 million loss of the year so far. No. Well, do you know what? Thanks for the donation, Charlie, as always. Big up to you. There was an article around Chelsea and Todd Boehly and financial fair play. I didn't get to read into it too much, but basically, from what I read of it, Chelsea are well covered. They've not just done things willy-nilly and shooting themselves in the foot later on. Apparently, from what we've read in this article, we've done it in a way where it works. And part of the reason why it works is because of these long-term contracts. It's because of the long-term contracts. And that's literally the loophole. That's where the loophole is. And that's why FFP are sitting back and going, can't do Chelsea. They've signed this amount of players, but they're doing it over this amount of length of contract. How are they doing this? Why did we not see this? And on top of that, why didn't any other top European Premier League team, shall I say Premier League team, even see this before Todd Boehly, the baseball manager, the baseball owner who knows nothing about sports, come in? Why didn't any of these experienced, sporting directors, owners, whatever you want to call them, not see the hole in the FFP? But Todd Boehly, the guy that doesn't know anything about football, along with Clear Lake Capital, finds a hole in the FFP and does his thing, does his bit. And now they want to cap it because they know that we found a loophole, I'm telling you. And that's the reason they're capping it, because we just get away with it. And I don't think they'll be able to fine us for what we've done because of the way that we've done it. And it's caught them out. This is what we do. 650 people here. Big up to Charlie for the donation. Sam says, Mudryk versus Nkunku for the left wing. No, Sam. No. Mudryk on the left, Nkunku. And I don't know why people think Nkunku's playing in midfield or on the wing. Nkunku is being brought in to play up front. And he's not going to be the only one that plays in the up front. He might be the leading figure, but we're going to have 2 players that are going to play close to him with the wingers. And we're going to do what he does at Leipzig. He scores most of his goals in the box. Go and look on the stats of all of Nkunku's goals. All his goals are mainly in the box. He's a goal threat. But to become a goal threat, you create for him. Yes, he will drift to the left. Yes, he comes deep and receives the ball and drives forward. Yes, I've seen all that. I've watched enough of him to know. But what he is versatile. He's not your typical number 9. You're right. But he will definitely be playing in the forward line for Chelsea, in my opinion. I think that is why he's been brought in, to score goals. Exactly, Pelu. Big up to Pelu in the house as well. We did do it with Kepa, though, and it's only an issue now. I'm sure João Felix signed a contract with Atletico Madrid that was 7 years or something. So, I don't know. I just, as soon as Chelsea do things, it's a problem, isn't it? It's a problem. Yeah, it is. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun, man. I'm having fun with you guys in the chat. 650 people here as well. Big up to every single one of you guys. Let's talk about Malo Gusto, and then we'll open up the line, because that is one player that seems to be linked at Chelsea, and it seems to be moving in the right direction. It goes on to say that Malo Gusto wants the transfer to Chelsea done as soon as possible. He cannot imagine it collapsing. And that comes from El Equipe, who we know is a very big French media company in France. So get French football as well. So, this is the French media now saying this, There's been more tweets which we're going to quickly look at as well in regards to him. And I've already told you how I feel about Malo Gusto to Chelsea. Get it done. Get him at the bridge. He's young. He's athletic. He actually has the attributes of what Reece James has. He's athletic. He's very quick. Very quick. He's good going forward. He creates. He can cross the blimmin' ball. Defensively, he's quite good. He has some room for improvement. He's young. But he's a top young right back. And if we can get him at that age now, and he wants us, go and do it. Because in the summer, I'm telling you now, top European teams are looking at Malo Gusto. This is the guy I want. This is the guy that I think but adds to Chelsea not having to look at the right back area anymore. Reece James gets injured. Cool. Malo Gusto to the here. Bang. This is the guy that we need to get in. Now, how did Chelsea get it done? That's the big question mark. What did Chelsea need to do to get Malo Gusto over to the bridge? Well, this is what they need to do. This is what they need to do, from what we're being told. Malo Gusto, similar situation to Noni Madueke. Chelsea have to improve their bid. Lyon are ready to accept an offer of around 35 to 40 million euros. So what do we know to this point is that Chelsea have put in the regions of around a 30 million bid forward for Malo Gusto to Lyon, which got declined. Now, Lyon want to keep Malo Gusto for the next couple of months. But Malo Gusto wants Chelsea. And if Chelsea meet the required fee for the player, we're now being told that Lyon are apparently looking to sell the player for that figure. They will let him go. So 35, 40 million euros, people might go, oh, that's a bit of money for a second back. He will get minutes. Reece James won't have to play every single goddamn game. We play, all right, maybe not next season because we might not be in the Champions League, but we usually play 50 games a season. 50. Back to back. 2 games, 3 games every 8 to 10 days. Reece James is not going to play every single game. And if he does get himself injured or there's an issue, whatever, Malo Gusto is there. He will come in and come and play a number of games. He's young, he's athletic, he's fit, he's ready, and he wants to challenge himself against what we call the best in the world. And he is the best right back in the world in Reece James. So get it done. There's no reason why we shouldn't get this deal done, guys. Get it done. Oh, did we not send them new 40 million bid yesterday? I think tomorrow's is going to be done. Yeah, well, yeah, no, I've not seen it, Galib. I don't think I've heard of it anyway. I've not seen Chelsea do that. So, yeah, exciting times, man. Exciting times. So, Malo Gusto to Chelsea looks more like it could happen. How I feel about the idea of Chelsea finishing off their January window, I do think we're going to get at least one more signing. And it might not be the midfield. It looks like it's going to be a right back. But I'll be happy because, again, they're addressing an area that is very important at this football club. It will annoy me that we didn't get a midfielder. But then I kind of understand it when we're getting forced into corners and to spend the loads of money on certain individuals. But at the same time, then I look on the flip side of it and I'm like, Enzo Fernandez in the summer, how many people was he going to attract? Caicedo in the summer, how many people was he going to attract? Are their values going to change? I don't think so. So it's like, do we just beat the queue and just get Caicedo and Enzo, or one of them, not both, sorry, one of them now, and just spend it and be like, do you know what? Let's just skip the queue here, get it done. Or do we try and tie one down now and maybe one down in the summer? I don't know. If they're the two we want, I don't even know. It might be that we only want one of the two and that we've got a different profile in mind for a midfielder. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Leon, right back, Malagusto, really wants to see a Chelsea move this week. Imagine being 19, shining for a hometown team, one of France's biggest clubs, playing for Laurent Blanc, and wanting out to join Chelsea's 60-man squad to be back up to Reece James when he returns. Daft. That's just salty, mate. Yeah, I wasn't even going to bring this up, but that is just pure and utter salt. Yeah, let's be serious. There is no comparison to Chelsea Football Club and Lyon in terms of stature. Let's be serious. Yeah, Lyon are a good team in France, 100%. They are. They got some decent players, whatever. But this guy wants to win things, big things. And a lot of these young players that are coming over are being sold a project by Todd Bowley and Egbali. Now, we don't know what that project is, but whatever it is, it's working because Mudrik's turned up. Madueke's turned up. So, at the end of the day, this boy's coming to Chelsea to compete with the best right back in the world and improve his game at the age of 19 years old with time on his side. And he will get minutes at Chelsea. Maybe not as much as he does at Lyon because he starts at Lyon. But he wants to maybe do it at a younger age rather than wait till he's 23 or whatever. The guy wants to come to Chelsea. He wants to be a part of the project. He wants to be at one of the best, the biggest clubs in world football, the biggest team in London, the biggest club in London. We run London. There's a difference, mate. There's a difference between Chelsea and Lyon. There's a difference between Chelsea and Lyon, man. So at the end of the day, you can't knock the guy wanting to come over to Chelsea. We want people that want to come over and play in a competitive nature like they want to. I want that. You should want that. We should want this. We want players to compete, challenge for spaces like we used to back in the day when we were elite and we had midfielders like Ballack, Deco, Essien, Makelele, Lampard, all in one team. We had defenders competing for positions. We had forwards that were competing for positions everywhere. You come to Chelsea back in them days, you're fighting for your place. You're testing yourself. That is what we want. We want players to come who believe in their ability and want to challenge themselves and want to be the best. I want to show it. I want to help this football club. That is what we want. And that's why we're going. That's why we're getting these players in. So as a Chelsea fan, it's good times, man. It's good times. Link in the chat. Let's get you guys involved. Come in, have your say. Nearly 700 of you guys in the chat. But I know we ain't got enough likes. So I'm going to have a look at the likes now. And if the likes ain't good, come on, guys, man. 200 people on GNA TV, 103 likes. Come on, guys. Let's get this to 150, please. Please smash the likes. Please subscribe if you're new here as well. 200 people, big up to yous. And then we've got nearly 500 people on Chelsea Fan TV. Big up to every single one of you guys that are tuned in over here watching that. Nearly 200 likes there. And we just need 8 more people to smash the like button. So how quickly can we get that to 200? And how quickly can GNA TV get it to 150 likes? Come on, guys. Let's get the likes up. We have CFC Cyprus in the building. What is happening?
Hey, yo, what's up?
I'm all good, man. How we doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. My camera's fucked, though. That's the only issue.
How you doing, bro?
It's fine, mate. No worries. So how are you feeling about the transfer market as we speak at the moment, mate?
Well, I'm feeling optimistic, to be honest. I do have quite some hope now that our players are coming back. We're trying to get back on track. We're nearly there. That's the good thing. Now, my only concern is how is the board going to deal with these transfers and how are they going to manage it? But the bigger part that we have to deal with right now, importantly, as Chelsea fan, is to try and back our teams home away and try get the wins and the games. That's all I want so far. The boarding team, they need to do their job. We just need to support the team however we can. That's all I'm trying to say. Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea and up the CFC Cyprus, mate. Big up to you, man. Thank you for your comments on that one. Kai, what is happening, man? What is going on? It's nice. It's becoming a pleasure to actually have you back on, man. Coming on more
Hey man,
often.
whenever I'm on home office, I can make it, man. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Happy Independence Day.
You ain't doing this Frank Lampard stuff here again, Jesus.
Hey man, it was a good Independence Day, man. But yeah, man, all is good. Chelsea is doing all right, man. I'm still optimistic for a midfielder. I think Vivel is gonna do his thing.
Really?
He's what Chelsea needed, man.
Who are they going to get,
doing,
Kai?
man.
You tell me who they're going to get. Who do you feel confident that Chelsea are going to get in midfield then?
I think Enzo's coming.
Oh, please.
I think the big one is coming, man. I think either coming this winter or in the summer, but I think they will strike a deal, man. I think the fact that they keep coming back for him just shows how much they want him, man. And it's like we already spent 100 million on some kid from Ukraine, so I think like a World Cup winner is also manageable. I think we can do it if we can get. I think if we can get them to kind of spread the fee like we did with the other signings, FFP wise, obviously the payment thing is different. But if we can make them to agree to it, even if we pay them 4 or 5 million more,
Yeah.
I think in that case, let's be wrapped up, man. And I think if Boli makes that signings, Jim, I would honestly, I would shut my mouth for the next 10 years, bro.
I mean,
would not complain, bro.
Me and you. I mean, when it comes to Enzo Fernandez, I've wanted this.
I love
guy
him,
for
man.
so
I fucking love him, man.
long,
Yeah.
mate. This is the
He's
guy.
so
that
good
I've
on the ball,
wanted
bro.
Oh, mate, I don't think most of you understand it, but there is some that still question it. I'm just like, why, man?
Bro, let me tell you a short story, yeah, and then Josh, you go ahead, yeah. I was watching the Liverpool game, yeah. I was watching the Liverpool game, you know, normal, casually, enjoying me a good beer, bro. I'm looking at Hall and Mount run through the counter attack, right? I see Mount give a through ball, it goes outside, man, for a ball kick, for a goal kick. I'm like, Kai, you can either get mad or you can realize that maybe one day we're gonna get an Enzo in this team and things will change. And you know what, Jim? I looked at it optimistically, bro. So from now on, I'm looking at this optimistically. Hopefully, we'll get Enzo, we'll get Caicedo, man, and things will start looking up for Chelsea. Because as far as attack, we are sorted, man. Like I'm happy with our attackers, man.
So am I. And one of the things that I love about the attackers that we signed is how direct they're going to be. Their dribblers are going to, they're going to. I mean, Mudrik's. Yeah, I really think he's going to be special. Madueke is going to be interesting to see as well. We dropped the interest in Anthony Gordon, which is great news as well. From
Thank God, man. And the Rice, we dropped the interest of Rice as well. Who else, man? All we need is for Liverpool. All we need is for Liverpool to do us a favor and take Mount, bro, and I'll be the happiest guy in the world, bro.
Nando's Rice is gone as well, so what more wrong can we go for this? But anyway, yeah, midfield. I'll be honest with you, I'm still not sure, Kai. I think we might just sign one more, and I think it might be a right back. I'm just not sure. I really want Enzo, but it means that we're going to have to pay the money up. So, can I actually see us doing that when we've been told that we don't want to do that? That's the problem right now. I'm like,
bro, if you remember the thing with the who was it, Bruno Fernandez as well. They also didn't want to sell him, man. They also didn't want to sell him to United. But in the end, they just struck a deal with them. They were also very fucking reluctant to let Bruno Fernandes go, man. But that's the thing with Portuguese players. When they come to the Premier League, they do well, man. And I think he will do his best to get him, man. So let's see, man. Let's see.
I hope so. Josh, you got the key. You got the Frank Crown sign. What's going on here?
I just forgot to change it. Listen, in a day of, joy for some people, never forget who your real legends are, right? So
yeah.
Management aside, respect Frank Lampard. I don't like this. I don't know. This is like a recent Twitter version thing that these kids do where like if they don't like a guy or they think he's past it or they don't like him as a manager, they slander the shit out of him for whatever reason.
They're not negative.
Have a little respect.
Yeah. They're nice people, guys. It might be you might see them at Lewis's, but they're not negative. They just share their opinions. Carefree Kev. It's all right, mate. It's all right. Don't worry. Go on, Josh. Continue.
I just forgot to take it off. That's why it's on there, man. Yeah, no, I think we'll definitely get one midfielder in January. I don't know who that's going to be. Galib was saying in the chat, though, I just trust Vavel right now at this point. Just let him do his thing. If I don't want the club to get extorted by any means. So like if there's an option that Vavel thinks can do a similar job for a much better price, and we can get that deal done, I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'd all like to have Enzo at the club, but listen, I just don't. It doesn't make any sense to put yourself over a barrel if you can't get, if it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I still haven't gotten any clarification. I don't know. Next time you talk to Ben Jacobs or whatever, if Enzo has a release clause, which is what I've read in multiple reports by big Sports Illustrated, ESPN, big media outlets, that it's a release clause, which and if that's the case, that payment can be broken out over the length of his contract, or if it's a buyout clause. And in that case, that whole lump sum has to go on your books. I haven't seen any definitive answer on that. From everything I've read, it's a release clause, which makes me believe that if they pay the release clause, they can break that up. But we'll see what happens. I definitely think Gusto will get done. That's just a matter of no team's ever going to just accept your first bid. They're always going to make you come back with an improved offer.
I forgive you for abusing me.
So yeah, we'll see. I think Gusto definitely gets done, and then we'll see about the midfield. Hopefully, one of the two of Caicedo or Enzo. At least we get one of them would be nice. But yeah, I trust what Vavel's done so far. I like all the alternative names, Kone, Zubamendi, these dudes. I like these guys too. So if he gets into a position where you need just one of those guys, I'd be totally fine with it.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, Couch, obviously, Malo Gusto looks like a player that wants Chelsea. Chelsea need to spend around 35-40 million euros is what we've been told. I mean, what's your thoughts on the player himself? And do you think we'll get it done?
Yeah, that one seems the most likely at this point, just because, as you said before, Lyon don't really have the might to keep somebody like that. Like he's already agreed terms, so it seems to me that this is just a matter of nickel and diming right now. We're going to figure out how to get that over the line. But, I basically wanted to get on this Enzo thing because I feel like the move right now is not to get him for January. I think the move is to set up the summer.
That's what I said.
And I still think that like we have to show that we can negotiate now, right? Like we can't just throw down cash any number, because they're changing that loophole, which makes it difficult to get those amortized deals done, right? So we have to be able to show that we can negotiate now. So I'm not about like just trying to pay overs to get him in. I want him. I think that kid is, wow, his way to pass is just exquisite. Like everything that he does on the ball just really excites me, and I think that he can help us in a major way. But truly, we have to show that we can negotiate now, because if we get taken to the cleaners on this one, we get taken to cleaners on Caicedo, it's just a domino. We're not going to be able to get deals done the right way, especially when they take that little loophole out of the mix. So for me, it's about negotiating, coming to the table correct, and then if we can get the deal done, we can. If we can't, we can't. It's as simple as that.
Who would you choose? And I asked everyone, if you had the choice between Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and you can only have one, what one are you choosing?
Enzo for me.
I'm thinking Enzo, because I think
Enzo,
that Caicedo.
man.
I think
Enzo in a
Caicedo.
heartbeat, man.
You could find Caicedo's, man. Like again, somebody that's gifted on the ball, that can, like, the way to pass is just perfect. He spots the runs.
Good presser as well.
That's not something you coach. That's not something you can teach. When you think about energy and ball disruption ability, all that stuff, you can get that in so many different players right now. There's a lot of eights that play with that sort of ball. And
Couch, we have the best one of those in the world coming back in about 2 or 3 weeks. So
there you go. Right?
Yeah, true. That's true. And the other thing is as well, like the one real standout thing from me with Enzo Fernandez, more than anything, it's not over the fact that he's physical, he's tall, and whatever, and he can get stuck in. His interception levels were in the top 3 at the World Cup, it was him and Kovacic for interceptions across the World Cup. They were the two that won the most interceptions from midfield.
Yep.
The one thing that stands out for me the most is that he knows what he's going to do with that ball before he receives it. Like
I'm surprised, man.
The passing level of this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not joking. It's a vision that I like. It's a vision kind of like Cesc Fabregas, but I also see it with Frankie De Jong. Like, Frankie De Jong has that type of vision as well.
Yep.
But it's just not many players like it. And when you can get a player like that in your midfield, I am telling you now, I said deep line creator, we need that. That is A grade right there in terms of creating.
Yeah.
And Jim, can I add to that? Oh, yeah, so sorry, Scott. I just let you go. I got to go, Josh. Just give me a second. So this is my point. Yeah, they are going to change that. Like the kind of stretching out the payments by the contract down to 5 years, right? So 10 years we have it only in this window. So might as well sign literally the best rated midfielder right now at the moment, man. Because if we're gonna sign a player on big wages, which is not really gonna be that much big wages because we can stretch it out, this is the time to do it. This is the player to do it on. Because think about it, in our attack we have two very good players, right? Who are very, very good on the dribble, with the pass, and Felix and Mudryk, right? We need that superstar in midfield. I know in this channel a lot of them think that's Mason Mount, but we'll move away from that. But Enzo, bro, if we can pay and and the next 10 years pay for it, I don't mind. Because what, we're gonna pay 10 million every year for him? Him alone right now, man, a 21, 22-year-old, he's already like the highest rated midfielder, I think. Under 21.
Agree.
I don't want to burst your bubble, guys. 2 seconds.
So why not just do it, man?
We got a comment here from the Benfica coach just saying there is nothing else in the mindset of the player. Please, coach. The Benfica coach insists his star is going nowhere. So
yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that.
That doesn't mean anything, bro. That's a coach, bro. They can say whatever they want. I remember when De Bruyne was sold, man. The coach the same day, bro. He said, "No, he's not going anywhere." The next day, you saw him in Manchester. Bro.
Yeah, I remember Brendan Rodgers Brendan Rodgers was pretty solid on Wesley Fofana not going anywhere this summer, right? And now we saw that ended up. So. What a coach says.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that we haven't bid yet. Like,
yeah, no question. What a manager says means very, very little to me. I don't know what else people are expecting him to say. He's the manager of the club. He's not going to be like, yeah, we're talking about it. If the right number comes, we'll definitely get rid of him. I don't think they're not managers. Managers will never talk like that. But yeah, I think it's funny. Two things real quick. I love how all of a sudden lengthy contracts are an issue because we do it, yet they've been around forever. I think Felix was on like an 8 or 9 year deal at Atletico. Yeah. But just because we're getting players to join and want to do that, it's somehow now it becomes an issue. But either way, it's not like you could just give them an additional 5-year extension after like the second or third year and just make it an 8 or 9 year contract anyway. So, and then on Enzo, like at this point though, you need Benfica to play ball because we can't make every single like Couch is talking about negotiating. It can't be a one-sided negotiation where it's like, we want 120. We also want to keep him for another 6 months. We also want it in lump sum payment. We'd also want it no broken out over the length of his. Like you can't get every concession to Benfica. It's like, listen, if you want to keep him for 6 months, guess what? The price is halved. Like we'll give you like 60 for him if you want to keep him for 6 months.
Also, Josh, that's where our new technical director comes in. Like. There used to be a day where Marina would pay over the odds for these players, or doesn't get the signing done. But this is where Viv will have to show his ability, man. Because if he is really as good of a technical director as we've been, said to believe, then he should be able to get the deal that is like. He should be able to make it attractive for Benfica as well, and I think it's possible for us to do it. Because obviously they were able, they wanted to negotiate back in December, right? And then we decided to go back and kind of turn back in our words. So I'm sure they didn't want
to negotiate.
They did not want to negotiate.
According to what people are saying, they did want to negotiate, but they wanted
they wanted the release clause.
They want the release clause end of. That's their negotiation tactic. So I think part of what you're saying is true about Vavel, but part of being good at your job is also knowing when to walk away. So for the club, if they're just not going to come back with any concessions, like you just got to walk away. It's like any negotiation. It can't be one-sided.
And to the point that Kai made earlier, like I still think that the time to do it is this window. Like we have to get this deal over in this window just because of the fact that we can still amortize it over the length of 8, 9, 10 years or whatever it may
Sure.
be. There's not going to be a better opportunity to sign him than right now. Even if you lend him back or loan him back till the summer, like just get it done, get that deal done, and then have him locked in for the term that we need him to be locked in on for this to work. But
Yeah.
that's kind of how I see it. Like, and you don't go back in. Like, sorry, we were in for him like what, a month ago or something like that. You don't go back in without having a real plan to get him this time. Like, it's silly to just go back and say, well, okay, we did 88 million last time, let's go 89 million. Like, go in with the intentions of getting him, put together a plan that is feasible for them. That's how I see it. You can't go back in without the notion that you're going to get this guy at this point.
Yeah. Plus, me and Jim need to get the tops, man, already, man. It's confirm it, man. Jim, I know you're getting an Enzo shirt, bro.
Yeah. Give me Enzo Fernandez, man, all day of the week. I mean, the Benfica coach keeps declining it. He keeps saying, nope, nothing. He's our player. So I agree with what you're saying, though. It's more than the coach. If Chelsea come back with what we believe could be an offer, then I think the owners of Rui Costa are going to actually look at that. But it's going to have to be a very good installment plan. It's going to have to be something that's going to really, push them to do it. But Dan Angel, what are you saying? If he's not talking, we'll go to Alex. Alex, what are you saying?
I don't know. What are you talking about? Just got here.
We're talking about Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. We were sort of wondering, we're discussing whether Chelsea will lay the money before
There's
the end of the January
nothing
window.
else. It says there's nothing else in the mindset of the player. Benfica coach said that's over.
This is going nowhere. So some
Nowhere.
people say, look past what the coach is saying. Others, what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it: Chelsea put the 100 million for Mudryk. Now we're paying dividends for that.
Okay.
By now we're in the rebuild. By now they can use us for money because they know that that's the last window we can afford to pay that much high wages. They're gonna use us. So if we're not prepared to pay that kind of money for Enzo or Caicedo, you ain't getting none of them. Might as well give up on it and see it for the third one, for the third option. School out.
You see us getting the right back in Malo Gusto? That seems like something that
I
could
think
happen.
that I said it 3 weeks ago, about a week ago. It's done. I think it's done long time. Like that's not even a thing. But midfield, I seriously doubt it. Even though that's a big.
One of our biggest issues. Yeah.
That's the issue that we need the most. I don't think we're signing anybody based on how the market goes and how the other clubs look at us and how basically the UFA came with that new rule for the next. Not new rule. We're gonna try it. It still didn't pass it. We're gonna try it. Do it so that before the summer transfer window, the rule is gonna be changed. We're gonna try it. So if it does it, I'm pretty sure it will go through, because who's gonna oppose that? Nobody. So if the rule goes through, Chelsea, they found the loop, they used it, they shut the loop down. Now we gotta pay. That's all it is.
Do you see us getting any of them? If we don't do it now in the January window, do you think it's again something that we will go for in the summer window?
I think we're probably, if we don't sign Enzo now, the only option I can see us, if Enzo does not get turned head by Messi going to PSG, because the way the transfer window looks, there is a lot of clubs that could be in the midfield, like Liverpool, Real Madrid, PSG needs the midfielder, Manchester United needs the midfielder. There's also an options for the midfielder. Caicedo and Enzo is not the only ones. There's De Jong, there's Borussia Dortmund midfielder. There's Mount is on the transfer market apparently. So there's plenty of midfielders for sale. So it depends who gets which ones. For example, De Jong probably will go to the club with the Championship League. Good Manchester United. Bellingham can go to Real Madrid based on the same thing. We're going to pay a substantial amount of money for him. Chelsea only option in the summer I see, like based on the money, Brighton with Caicedo. That's the only option. I can see. Unless Lavia does not go to City or City. So for me, number one is probably would be I would like Lavia over Caicedo over anybody. But I don't know how Manchester City will go. But so for me, I think Caicedo is the only one that we can get in the summer.
Interesting. Even though we're being told Caicedo is being valued at around 100 million. I mean, they've
Now,
done that to get him in January.
No.
Yeah.
They said it because it's a January.
Yeah,
That's the reason.
Yeah, I mean, we've got N'Golo Kante coming back in February. We've got Kovacic being back for Fulham game. We've got Jorginho. We're just going to have to suffer for the next, I don't know, get away with that, should we say, until the summer, yeah.
Another thing that could affect the longevity of Jorginho and Kante staying at Chelsea. If we don't see prospects of it, we will be panicking and get the.
I don't see any panic in this group. I don't see any panic.
Yeah.
You know, if they want Jorginho, they'll keep him, but I don't think that that's the long-term goal. They're rebuilding this entire thing. Like, there's going to be some clear-outs that we did not expect.
I'm looking at a numeric thing. Couch? I'm looking at a numeric, not the quality, the numeric. You have to have numeric account of each position.
Right, but with that said, you know, the summer's going to come. Those guys are going to leave. And then you think about who you're going to bring in after that. Like numerically, you're going to bring in replacements, right?
Yeah. You don't want to handcuff yourself.
You
don't want to handcuff yourself with guys you don't want just for numbers purposes, right? So like if Jorginho's not in like the long-term plans.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if we don't see a prospect that replacing it, we don't want to be caught with the pants down. I see.
Right, well, there'll be plenty. There's plenty of midfielders. There's plenty of midfielders in the summer that will be available.
Why am I hearing myself talking?
I don't know. Somebody's volume is on madness.
Who has an arm walkie talk?
I think it's Dan, isn't it? Or is it Kai? Probably Kai.
No, it's Dan Angel guy.
Dan Angel, are you there? He just sits there and doesn't say anything.
Well, remove him.
I removed him. He come back in.
How he can? And he comes in by himself, or he can stay in the backstage.
But he's not talking. But yeah, look. Who knows, man? Who knows? All I can say is that did we expect Chelsea to sign 2 forwards in this January window?
No.
No.
So
I didn't know.
You know, what I would say is the way that we have been moving up to this point would not surprise me if we've got 1 or 2 more surprises by the end of the January window.
Yeah.
None of them are going to be midfielders. That's the problem.
But then they're talking about the potential if we don't get Caicedo and Enzo that we might look at a loan move.
Alvarez is coming.
From who?
Alvarez is coming, bro. Alvarez is coming from Ajax.
They're going to be a freaking mid.
I don't want third and fourth choices, though. I want our priorities. I don't want us to keep going and doing as a cut. We're like
exactly, man.
Fabrizio Romano said, "Be prepared that in the last 2 days of this transfer market, if Chelsea don't get Enzo or Caicedo, that they will look to get a loan move for a midfielder. Just bear that in mind. That's what we've been told." So,
Zakaria is injured, right? Like, anyone know how long he's out?
Who's that?
Zakaria. Oh, yeah, that's another. I don't know.
It's going to be like for some weeks, so give him until late February, I think.
Yeah, probably closer to the end of February, maybe.
The season finishes in June this time, right? Because of the World Cup. It's not until the end of May.
Talking about Fabrizio Romano, got something on him from Malo Gusto via YouTube. Has a full agreement on personal terms with Chelsea and his long-term contract. And it's a long-term contract. He wants Chelsea. Important days and hours ahead. Negotiations still ongoing, but Leon holds some hope of keeping him until the season ends. So we're going to sign him to loan him back to him, potentially. No. I don't see the point of that, really.
Yeah, so, I don't think there's a logic in that. I mean,
I think they're looking forward. They're not only looking for this season, right? Like they're looking for the next.
Yeah, but the thing is, we need a backup because I don't think we can catch up with Trevor Chalobah playing as a right back. That's my view on that.
Yeah, but Reece is back. Yeah, that's why they're thinking that way.
No, this guy is gonna be Chelsea player, I promise you.
Yeah, but Alex, I get that. But even if he doesn't come in the winter, the club are counting on Reece because he's already back.
He's coming in the winter.
This guy?
Yeah, this guy.
Hopefully. But even if he didn't, we're talking if
I
he
have
didn't.
my sources. I have brown envelopes.
This guy has
sources,
sources. He ain't chill.
Johnny Minerals is your sources, bro.
He ain't messing around, mate.
Mayo or ketchup? What sauce have we got here? What's going on?
What's up with that shit sauces, man? Is that the
maybe
only
barbecue,
options in the
man.
world?
Barbecue, bro.
Get
There's
some
no
of that
barbecue.
brown, mate.
Garlic mayo? I'm a mayo guy, so anything mayo, I'm alright.
I can tell. You should not be brag about it.
Honey mustard.
Well,
bro.
now I'd like to
Go
ask
on.
something for you personally. If you think that
Personally,
Chelsea,
damn.
if
Is
you
it a personal
think
question?
Chelsea don't end up with Enzo or like either Caicedo because both of the clubs are kind of bitchy and they don't want to sell them to us, who do you think we should go for? Like for a plan B?
I think those are plan Bs. One of them is plan A, one of them plan B.
We go for
Can
plan
you
C.
read the ABDs? One of them is A, one of them is B. Like,
Okay, let's I'll say plan C
let's
so it sounds
see.
correct.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go for Neves from Wolves. That's
Stop with Neves, man. This guy. You love Neves, eh?
I do.
He's not going to be that much cheaper than Caicedo.
60, 50 mil. Yeah, he's
He
gonna be
hasn't got
cheaper.
legs though, Neves. I'm telling you now, he's very slow.
At 60 million is a lot of money for a player of his quality.
What
What
quality?
about Kone
25
from
years
Brazil?
old.
That's a good question, Alex.
I can tell. Hold on a second. 100 mil for what's his name, for Ukrainian blonde Ukrainian. It's a high money based on what? It depends how you're looking at it.
He ain't
So
100
tell me-
million, though. 62 million.
Whatever. It's actually 160 when the deal is whole thing done.
Yeah, but you're talking about the add-ons, so if that's if
Yeah.
he needs the
Okay, you
add-ons,
proved me
then
wrong.
okay.
But what I'm saying, like, let's see the mark that you want to value the Neves. Let's do this thing just for heckles.
How much is
What?
he on transfer market?
I
It's,
don't know what's the transfer market.
£10.
What is
The
it?
website. The website transfer market has value there. It says the
Oh,
value.
okay. I didn't
Who
know
are we
that.
talking about? I'll have a look. Who are you talking about?
Neves.
Madrid. Neves.
Neves?
Okay, so-
No, I
Neves.
thought you were talking about what's his name, Lavia.
No.
No.
I was talking about Neves realistic option if we cannot get anybody in the winter.
He's 40 million apparently, and that was
Okay, yeah.
updated on the 3rd of November 22. That says there.
Yeah, I think he's still young. He's not very old, to be honest.
Yeah, he's 24 or 25 years old.
He
Decent
doesn't look
midfielder.
like that though.
So 60 is normal price, yeah. So that's what probably what they'd ask for him.
He's
So-
25.
25. Right
Yeah.
up his alley. Played a couple of seasons in the Premier League. Has a good range of passing. Has a good defensive awareness. Good defensive skills. He plays for Wolves, I understand. But where did if you want to bring somebody else that let's say Ukrainian blonde, where did he play before that convince you that he's 100 million? There's no record of him any kind.
Champions
Listen-
League.
2 games.
It's still Champions League, bro.
Okay.
But I do understand what you're saying, though. I wouldn't mind.
Like,
Neves.
I-
I think
He's
no,
playing
no,
the
I'm-
Portuguese team. Is he playing the Portuguese team?
Yeah, he's played for Portuguese national team. I think he's a good shout. I'm not saying he's the best option.
He sounds like squad guy to me. He doesn't sound like the guy that revolutionizes the midfield like we need.
I feel like he'd turn into Jorginho after a while.
Who's City entered for the Enzo deal, according to reports, man, in Portugal, man.
What's that?
City want Enzo, man. They
Oh, I
acquired
don't
for him.
believe that. I mean,
So that
Pep does rate him.
I
Pep
will
does
check
rate him.
Ruben Neves compared to if we look. It's like it's funny when people saying like, please give me options B, C, D, whatever, X, Y, Z, the alphabet.
What
I
about
give you an
Kone?
option.
What about Kone?
No, I give you an option. You said no immediately without even like bringing any name.
It's because he's mediocre, Alex, man. I think we need more of an 8 than a 6. I prefer to get 8 first.
8.
Hey,
Our
for
club is
fuck's
filled with
sake,
8.
How many eights do we have, Jez? How many
Nah,
eights
Jim,
do we have?
let me lie.
Fucking hell.
The reason why, yeah.
Freaking, you're not lending, you're
Wait,
crashing.
don't kill me. The reason why, I'm not crazy. The reason why is because if we're fixing this attack and we're trying to like revolutionize this whole team and we're starting, you know, front forward positions. We got a centre back, whatever. Cool. I think let's get that attacking phase play started now. Why not just get the whole thing interlocked now and then we can go for a 6 properly in summer rather than going for like
Because
a Neves now?
I'll answer
We
that,
just
because
bought 4 attackers.
what we need, why we
swear,
need the
man.
6, a specific 6, and this is why we talk
Because we
about
have
someone like
all
Enzo
the
Fernandez.
8s in the world.
Yeah, not
We
just
don't.
that,
We
but
don't,
we
though.
also need someone that
We
creates from the
don't.
deep
Okay,
line.
okay.
Yes, you already
Alex,
gave up
don't
on.
you dare mention Matt as an 8.
Ches,
Don't
Ches,
you dare.
Ches.
Yeah, but you used
No,
to tell me.
I'm not even
he's the best
gonna
8, bro.
mention Mensa Mount as 8 because
There you go.
that's not the
Mason Mount
thing.
mentions himself as an 8. What do you mean?
Jim,
We
remember
need
we were
the
at the
6 that can
terrace
create from the deep line.
and
That's what I was gonna
Chelsea
say.
was telling me that
Kai,
Mount is the
don't
best 8 in
don't
the world,
spit
bro.
lies on my name. Don't spit lies on my name. Don't
Jim,
do
weren't you with us at the terrace? And he said Mount should be played as an 8. He shouldn't be played as a 10. You're changing, bro. You're changing, man. Bro.
First of all,
No, I saw the light in it.
if you think that Mount is an 8, the only thing that 8 we have in the midfield, you should check your values before you saying that my values on the Neves is the difference. Ruben
How much-
Loftus-Cheek,
Hey,
what
cool.
position?
If you want
Ruben
Kai,
Loftus-Cheek,
how
what
much you pay-
position?
Alex, how
He's an
much would
8.
you pay for
He's
Neves?
an 8.
How much would you pay for Neves if you had the money? How much would you
40,
actually
well,
pay?
he's 40 million.
If I had
on
the money,
market,
I will pay
40 million?
$3 for $3 for him. I will pay $3.
You would pay 40 M's for Neves. I'd rather splash an extra 30 on someone else. It's actually
No,
Who?
I'm saying in market value, Ches.
For 30, you will get the blonde Mount.
I
That's
feel
how
like
much you're gonna
I feel
get
like
paid.
Wolves. I feel like Wolves have quoted Neves at 60 to other teams. I feel like I've read
Yeah,
that. before.
50
60
for Man
million.
United. For Man
Oh
United.
my god. He's not a 60 million value in the market. He's not.
I'm not saying he is. I just said that's what they
I
quoted him.
agree. He's in 60 million. I agree with that.
No, but I'm
Just
saying
my
in terms of Frank, I'm saying in terms of like options to choose from, that would immediately like take him off the list. 'Cause
I'll
he's
be honest
not
though,
worth-
Ches, any player that Chelsea specifically want to sign in midfield is not worth their value right now. But
Yeah,
it's Chelsea.
no
that
question.
loads of
No,
money.
but Caicedo, 85 million to us is worth that. Does that make
No,
sense?
I think it's
Yes,
too
it
much.
No, that's
It's too
absolutely
much,
bollocks, mate. What the
I
fuck?
don't think so.
No,
You
no,
see,
no,
you see,
man.
and this guy telling me no. Oh no,
No,
we need
no,
8.
don't let me spit facts on you. You lot are watching the games I'm watching, man. We all watch the same games. Yeah. To
It's
us,
not 85 million, Ches.
no, he's
85
not.
million.
Yeah,
I
but I've never watched a game
It's
and
not
I'm like,
a
God
good
damn, we need
transfer
some more
market.
Let me
eights.
redeem myself here and I'll stop talking. Let me land my point.
Let me
I
put
am not
Caicedo's
saying-
transfer value in.
I'm not saying he's worth 85 million in the market, or even to me, or even to us as a group. I'm saying to our football club and to what we need right now if we're trying to get top 4 or trying to have a respectable season towards the end, or even next season, so no one else takes him. It's worth paying the money now, doing a 6-year deal, whatever, spread out the cost, and then we reap the benefits towards later on, or even short.
Mate, his market
That's what
value
I'm
is
saying.
38 million euros.
Yeah, I would say
about right.
nobody
That's
nobody
because
in the
it's
world,
January
including in the
market.
summer, is going to pay 100 million for Caicedo. Nobody, even in the summer, it's never going to happen for Brighton. They better
Never
take.
gonna happen.
Okay. I have one
Even
question
Neves
so I
is more
can.
than him. Yeah,
I'd
go
like
on.
to ask one question so I can understand what's going on. Where do you think Chelsea will finish in this season so I can understand a bit where's everyone's
20th.
standards are?
4th.
What the
Okay.
fuck would you jump
My
from
man
8
thinks
to the
we'll
one
finish
and-
top 4. Okay.
Kone.
What about you, Jim? What do you think?
I think we are going to go up the table. I think going into February where we have players like Reece James and everyone else coming back and Kante, and with the new players we've got, I expect us to be, getting more points. I think we'll overtake people like Fulham and people above us. I'm not sure on Champions League, but I actually think we're going to finish in the Europa League spot, and I don't want us to. I'd rather us not.
Okay,
So-
I find that more realistic, to be honest with you. I think like a Europa League or a Conference League is more
Take care,
realistic.
Kai.
But I hope it's
Take care.
no.
Yeah, mate.
But I don't really believe in a Champions League spot because right now we're talking about facing a Newcastle team that has not conceded many goals, the fewest goals in the league. Okay, we have Man United who are on form, we have Man City who are fucking amazing, and we have Arsenal who for some fucking reason play fucking football, and their fans are like fucking, we're gonna win the league. You live in our shadows. Fuck Chelsea. Small team. We're the team of London.
Did you say United were on good form?
Well, Look at them how they're playing. I don't tell you like
Didn't they just lose? Didn't they just get their ass whipped from behind after having a 2-0 lead to Arsenal? Didn't they lose 3-2?
I'm not talking to you about the game against Arsenal. I mean, we're talking about in general. Okay, let's say the Man City game, it shouldn't have counted. I agree on that. But I think that I think that there is no reason to debate about that because it's all about Chelsea that we're talking about. So let's focus.
You brought it up.
Jam, check
I agree.
check the
Absolutely.
Ramsey from Villa value, so we can
Ramsey,
actually come.
yeah.
So we can actually come back to talk about the midfield and not position of
I
Chelsea.
mean,
and the top
55 million
four.
for Enzo Fernandez. by
And
the
the
way.
freaking transfer
Yeah.
market of the couple of days.
Ramsey.
I want to talk about Chelsea finishing top four when we
Jacob
don't have
Ramsey.
a midfielders. For fuck's sake.
One game
28
at a
million.
time, man.
28 million. 28 million market value for Jacob Ramsey.
May I
there we
ask
go.
for a player to search?
Got him.
I'm not on it.
I want you to search for Seko Fofana.
Fofana. Who? Fofana who?
Seko Fofana. He
Seko
plays for
Fofana.
Lens.
All right, there he is. Yeah, 30 million euros. The market
Okay.
value. That was in November the 2nd that they worked that.
Are we
market value out.
trying to get all the Fofanas in the world?
No, I just. No, I just
Fofana
like-
at the back, Fofana in the middle, Fofana up front.
Chelsea
Why
going to
not?
win the Champions League.
Hey!
Super Graham Potter.
I just feel like this guy plays great. That's all. Nothing else.
What about Amrabat? He plays for who's he play for now?
Oh, for Fiorentina.
Is he?
Yeah, Sofian Amrabat. Yeah, she plays for
Sofian
Fiorentina.
Amrabat.
But Liverpool are interested in
He's
him.
25 million euros. Jesus. Well, there is deals to be done out there. It's just who Chelsea believe is their actual, their target really, and it looks like
I
Caicedo
kind
and
of want to
Enzo.
know what Couch wants as a plan C for the midfield then.
You already know
you
where I'm
got?
at, man.
Who?
I've been telling you Lavia from how
Oh
long?
yeah, I know Lavia is not an option in January. That's not a plan A, B, and C.
How do we know that?
Should be Mendy
Because
he's underrated.
City owns them pretty much.
They don't own him, man. What they have is the option to buy him back, right? They have the first right of
No.
refusal. If you go in and say, here's 50 million to Southampton right now, they have to go to City. Yeah. Do you think City's going to buy him right now with the glut of midfielders that they have right now? This is the opportunity right now.
I
as far
think
as I'm
we
concerned.
have a buyback, not the first option. I think we have a
Even if
buyback.
it's a buyback, why are they going to they just sold him 6 months ago. They're going to buy him back 6 months later to stop Chelsea from buying him?
I understand, and Lavia is probably one of my favorites midfielders. You
Have a
know
look at
me.
Latvia then. How
I
much
just
is he?
think realistically cannot be happening in January.
No,
And
he
I'm
won't.
talking about the January window.
He's
Well,
25 million. Apparently, that's not true, is it? It's going to be a lot more than that. He must be double that now, isn't he? But 25 million euros back in November for Latvia. Yeah, these are just guide prices. Really, it's mad when you look at the market value and you think about what clubs actually sell players
Yeah, I'm
for.
gonna say
Enzo
add 20 to 30 million to the market value for every player.
Absolutely.
Enzo Fernandez was 55 million euros in price, and then they want 120 million release clause on him. That's mental.
So, Jem, what you're saying, just before I joined, you were discussing like options we could choose if we don't get Enzo and Caicedo, I'm guessing. Is that what you were doing? Like,
Say that again, mate. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
was you guys going through like the other options like BC?
Yeah. We were just originally saying if it ain't Caicedo or Enzo, Chelsea are talking about a potential of a loan move, and that's what Fabrizio Romano said in the last 2 days. Chelsea might just go for a loan.
So like, I think most of us will be happy with that. We don't just get a random C choice. For example, Neves, like, I don't know. Let's say we got Neves at 50 million. I mean, he's not a bad player. He's quite a good player, but again, it's not really what we need in terms of like we could get for better quality. So a loan player like Lavia on loan is not going to happen. So who can we really get on loan? Who's young?
Yeah, if you have an option to buy Lavia, you buy it.
But I'm saying there's no young people who are like going to fill the squad pattern we've got like under 23s. Who are we going to get who's under 23s? It could be him.
I don't think under 23s is as a thing. I think it's more like under 25, 26.
But my point is though, who's young, who's a 6, who can actually get on loan? Not really.
Why on loan? Why do you need to do it on
loan?
Because I'm saying what Chelsea are thinking of, not me. I'm saying for them. Because obviously,
why don't we go for Kone from Borussia Mönchengladbach? He's meant to be decent, isn't he?
No, if we can go for that guy from La Liga, Zubimendi, whatever his name. Yeah. That will be probably better than Neves for me. but I don't think we even link to that guy.
Do any
Again,
of you
they're
lot
different
think we'll
profiles
actually
as
get
well.
Enzo,
That's
though?
the thing, you know.
Do you not think we'll get Enzo? Do any of you lot think here if you get Enzo?
No,
think
I
we'll-
don't think we
I
get
pray
Enzo
to the
or
Lord that we
Caicedo.
do, but I don't think it. If we get Enzo, I think it's only gonna
Last time, I don't trust James' prayers. He wanted what's his name?
You mean
Is it
Declan Rice?
No,
Listen, if I had the keys to this
Sunday.
team, we'd be winning fucking Premier Leagues on back.
yeah,
to back,
we will
mate.
we
You know
will
about
have
that.
that guy from Villarreal or from what's the name that
Kunde,
It's
man.
about Kunde.
Kunde, yeah.
Oh,
The,
yeah,
your
Kunde.
players are not answered. You
But
probably
you say that he's in
played the
Barcelona,
wrong-
mate, playing every game, doing quite well over there. To be fair to him, but he's with Christensen, so what do you expect anyway? But you know,
What? That's the reason why we're actually doing well, because
that's why he's so bad.
you
Around
know
him,
how
isn't it?
bad he is that actually Christensen took him out of, because he plays right back. He doesn't play center back.
Yeah, but he's been playing. Right back quite a lot.
Exactly. Christensen pushed him out of his prime position.
Kunde's better than- Kunde's better than him.
I forgot to tell that Lewis, man.
That's not true, by the way. He actually
Lewis,
plays.
man.
That is not true.
Yeah, right back.
Lies.
Is the right
Lies.
back.
Yeah, no, he plays right back, but he plays right back for France as well.
He
Yeah, but
plays
fuck
center back
Kunde.
when he plays center back when the what's his name, when Christensen have periods.
Ain't it? Yeah. When he has periods, was it not him and it's Kunde and Christensen that play centre backs. I just looked now; they're both centre backs. together.
Yeah,
We're both
Yeah.
center backs on the paper, but we're not
Yeah.
playing them. The left center back is not. So you're saying Christensen is the left center
No,
back?
Christensen and Kunde, they play a 4-3-3, and Christensen and Kunde are their two defenders at the moment.
Okay,
That's what they're
who's the right back and left back?
Roberto and Baldi, whatever his name is.
Alejandro Balde. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So they are playing. They're playing next to each other. That's what's funny about it. Actually, playing next to each other. That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, going back to Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, Oreo is their best defender,
Yeah.
but he's injured, isn't he? To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, going back to Chelsea, whether or not we get one signing, two signings, God knows, no signings, at least we addressed the forward line, right? At least we brought in two
Yeah.
players that are hopefully going to make us look better going forward. We're hoping so anyway.
But it all depends on the midfield, to be honest. The midfield is the essential part of the game that makes a team good, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
What
But
would you
we
give this
just have to
window
suffer with
if
it.
it closes right now? We get nobody else. What would you rate the window?
If I
8 out of 10.
see,
I'll
I
give
would
it
say
like-
it's a bit lower. I think it's a bit lower. I think.
I'll give it like a 7, 6.
Yeah.
I'll give it 5. I actually give below 5 because our main problem.
I'll give it a 5 as well.
Based
I
on
agree
the
with you, Alex.
right
Listen,
back.
you guys, I know there's an issue with our midfield, but this team has scored 22 goals this season. So I would say the attack is a real issue.
I'd say
A real
6.5.
issue.
6.5. And then if
6.5.
we got
You can say 6, right? You
if
just have to
nah,
be
I'm in the middle.
0.5.
I like being in the middle. And then if we got a midfielder, if we get Gusto, then
Oh.
it pushes it up to a 7.5. If we
No,
then
hold
get
on
a
a second.
midfielder, if we get a
What?
midfielder, then it goes up to a fucking 10. in my
What?
opinion.
What? Why will it turn over for you from 6.5 to 7? What would have done in this transfer market to change your mind from 6.5 to 7? Or other way around?
That 0.5 is a very big difference to me in this world, mate. All right, like I keep that
Well, that's what
0.5.
she said.
Yeah, look, people say about Andre Santos that's playing for Brazil. He's playing very well. We should give him a chance.
He's an 8.
He's an 8. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see him playing 6.
Oh yeah, Blue guy said that we have a shortage on 8. So.
No,
Blue guy
no, I said quality shortage, not shortage in players. Loftus-Cheek he's barely players, doesn't count. Mount has
Okay,
been
hold
good.
on a second. Is the Santos is better 8 than Ruben Loftus-Cheek?
Santos is a 6, by the way.
Oh, is it?
I was about to correct you as well. He's not an 8, but anyway,
Oh, okay.
He don't look like a frame of a 6. I've seen him a lot more forward, isn't it?
I think he's quite true. I think he's like
Yeah, I mean,
He's
Enzo is
big.
tiny as
He's
hell. What are you
big.
talking about?
No, Enzo's not as
Santos
tiny as
is-
Santos. What are you talking about?
I don't know about that.
Enzo,
I would have you
Enzo
look
is
that
smaller
up for
than
me.
Santos.
No,
Definitely.
he's living 8.
Santos guy is tall and big.
I thought
he?
Santos was like
No,
nearly
I
6 foot.
think Santos is a bit higher than in height.
Let me have a look.
Comparison to
Yeah, I
Enzo.
thought Santos was like 5'11".
No, Santos is like 179. So that
Enzo
would be like
Fernandez
5'8", 5'9".
is 1.78 meters. Enzo Fernandez.
So actually, they're a bit
Enzo's
similar.
like, yeah.
I
Have
just
like-
think Santos looks like the shoulders wide and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Santos is 1.78 as well. I think they're the
Oh, is
same.
he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was 2 inches taller. My bad.
No.
But yeah, we don't have a lot of good.
Yeah, he's still 18 years old, to be fair.
Alex, you know what it is?
I
You know what it
don't.
is, Alex, yeah? My
No, I
point
don't.
is what Frank said earlier is spot on. Like
I thought as
we've
well.
struggled to score goals now for a long time and create chances to score goals. And even on the Lampard, we created those chances, we couldn't get finishes. Even on the Lampard days. So my thing is, I'd rather sort out the attack. Then not neglect the defense, but like sort that out maybe in summer, get quality DM. My thing is this attack needs to change. We have not seen a competent attacker in a very long time. A very, very long time. And we
Oh
haven't
my
seen
God. When did we see quality midfielder?
No, but you can say it. You can say quality midfielders, but the problem is we won a Champions League and we still didn't score a lot of goals. So my point is that
we've neglected the midfield for well too long, Ches.
No, but
Since
Jem, the point is,
2018,
my
we've done
point is
nothing
this,
with
yeah,
it, mate. It's
I
not good
I
enough.
just don't
my
have
point is
energy.
this. I'm not saying don't touch the midfield. Like don't be clouded by what I'm saying. Like don't be like narrow-minded. Like he's saying don't.
Yeah, but you're kind of
Yeah,
saying,
you
no,
just-
we
you
just get through with it.
You
What
just
I'm
want
saying
to
is, though,
keep
what I'm
postponing.
saying
You
is-
just want to keep postponing and postponing and postponing. That's
No, I
what we
wanna get
said.
quality. I
No,
wanna get
no,
quality
no.
players.
Yeah, I know
Chesney,
what
can I
you
ask you a question? With our current
Let's
players that
finish
we've got right
summer.
now, Chesney, with our current midfielders, you name our strongest midfield. Because we play free midfield, right? You name our strongest
Fit
midfield.
players,
who
one
we've
fit
got.
players.
No,
Fit.
as in everyone fit. Everyone fit.
Everyone fit. I'll be honest and say Kante obviously 6. I'll play.
You see, I'm done.
4-3-3.
Kante's not a 6.
Can't-
Kante's not a 6.
Bye, I'm
Carry
done
on.
talking.
Name the strongest midfield, bro. Go on.
I'd play Kante as a 6. Anyway,
But Kante's not a
4-3-3.
6.
I'll probably play Kovacic as the 8, even though we got form recently. And I'd probably play.
I just played 2 6s, Kante and Kovacic. Like, I don't get what the problem is.
Yeah, maybe them together double pivot. And I'll
Yeah.
play like a 10. Someone who could play that 10 one, be Felix and Cam, maybe.
But
about
we've
3
needed an upgrade on Kante in over a season now. Kante is not the same player that he was. I don't know if he's been carrying an injury, but we need an upgrade on him anyway. Like Alex said, if we don't get midfielder in this window, I'm giving it a 5. I know we've got attackers,
No, but guys,
but that would have never happened if we never had all these injuries. Yeah, midfield should have been our priority.
The problem is what you're saying. 2 people can coexist at the same time. What I'm saying is this. I'm not disagreeing with you. I never said once I disagree with you. All I'm being realistic. I'm looking at the market. I'm looking at what the players are trying to go towards. And that's what's stopping us. The club wants to get a midfielder. So everyone go to midfielder. I know.
Oh my God.
But what fucking midfielder are you going to get? Because I don't want, no offense, I don't want to get an option C when I'd rather wait for someone to get an option A. And yes, maybe Caicedo.
Who we gonna hold on a second? Who we gonna get an option by A for the as a forward?
Alex, for example, simple business, Caicedo and Summer will be statistically financially cheaper.
Enough of that. You said you hold on. You said you wanna get the quality offense. Tell me the name.
Caicedo.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
Go
Honestly, do you think we're gonna get Caicedo and Enzo in the summer? Because I reckon we'll probably just
You said you don't want midfielder.
And when did I say that?
No,
you just said
I want to say to you, lot, I don't want a midfielder. I said
no, but you said you look past it in the January market, right?
I said I would rather get an 8 than a 6, and you lot were saying, "Why do you want an 8 for? We got loads of 8s." And I was like, "No, we don't. I'd rather get an 8 because I believe our attack is more of an issue than our defenses. When we're winning,
hold on a second.
Let me give you evidence. When we're winning Champions Leagues, for example, not that long ago, even this season, we don't concede loads of goals. So yes, we have them games where we're poor because our defense is poor overall, but we're not conceding those. But we don't.
Yeah, but it's no protection to the defense.
Again, we don't score as a common denominator in general. Whether we're playing well or not, we don't score goals for a long time.
Yeah.
for a long
So
time.
you
And
say
why is
not-
that? And
he's
why
not
is that?
wrong.
Because
Let's be
we
real
get
here. Like,
dominated in
Jimenez is
midfield.
right now
Look,
we're fourth in goals conceded in the Premier League. He's not
Yeah,
wrong.
that's true. Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm
that's but
saying.
it's
yeah,
that doesn't
he's
make
not wrong with what
that's-
you're saying. But look, when I look at it, Jem, yeah, and I look at the season overall, right, and I'm looking at it and I'm reviewing the season in terms of the games that we've played so far, right. The only game I can look at and say we'd actually dominated the midfield was the game against Spurs when we should have won that game when fucking what's his name and what's the ref's name, Anthony Taylor didn't give that penalty to Cucurella when he got
Don,
his
let me
head.
bring you
Yeah.
back.
That's
You know why I
the
think
only
that?
game I can remember where I can say,
But
cool,
Don-
Chelsea dominated the midfield. Every other game, bro, we've been dominated.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember any other game where we haven't been dominated in midfield.
This is
Oh, hey,
where
Alex, can you jump in?
This is the
how-
problem.
No,
Alex,
no,
can
no,
you
no,
jump
no.
in? I
This
want
is
to
a
have a
big
good point
problem.
on that.
This is
Alex,
where
one
I
sec,
got
one sec.
confused.
Based on Don's point, yeah. Sorry, Alex, I'm not going to cut you off again, but I have to go on that point. So I agree with you, Don. Yeah. Guess what? Guess who had the chance to finish off the game before that happened, though?
Based
you tell
on
me.
what I understood from
Havertz.
this
Remember that
guy.
chance
Hold
Havertz
on a
missed,
second.
and if
Hold
he'd
on a
scored that, it was 3-1, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's say the exact same thing happens, and we do concede that was it a penalty or whatever last minute chance they scored. We still win the game. So the point is you can't neglect the midfield, and you can't say, "Oh, it's not midfield." So I'm not going to sit here and go, "Oh, it's the midfield is fine." What I'm saying is, attack is the best form of defense. Also the midfield, and our midfield has been poor for a long
Is
time.
Caicedo is attacker or midfielder?
I don't think you got my point there.
I understand your point now when you point.
That's what I'm saying.
The problem is when you said you need attacker. I understood attacker, not midfielder.
I said 8, not a 6. That's what I said. 8s can do both. That's why I think it's important. Because 8s can carry the ball and transition the ball, which we need, i.e. to create chances to our 10. And
Do you know what? When Kante comes back, if we play, let's say, a double pivot of maybe Kante and you put Cover there, playing at 6 row, and maybe you put Felix in front of them, I get what you're saying. Like, you are going to see an improvement in midfield in comparison to what we've been seeing the past few weeks with Gallagher, Mount, these sort of guys. I know Zakaria has come in and stepped in, he's done well, but again, he's injured. We're not sure how he's going to come back from that injury. So yeah, with the players coming back, they're definitely improvement in terms of what we've been seeing the past few weeks. But at the same time, an upgrade has been needed on Kante for a while. Kante, that season when we lost to Real Madrid, if you look at the games, both the games, look, I'm not going to say we lost the game because of him, but he was really sloppy in that game. And he's had performances like that. Against Spurs, he was good. But again, sorry, Alex, let me just finish what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, with like I said, with Kante, we need an upgrade on him. I know everyone's getting happy, like he's coming back, but again, we need upgrades on these guys. So, Ches, I get what you're saying in terms of our attack's been dire. I agree with you 100%. You're not wrong in saying that. But we need at least one midfielder this window just to upgrade things a little bit, refresh it a bit, and hopefully get another one in the summer. If we don't get at least one midfielder, whether that's Caicedo or Enzo, then for me, it's been I'll probably at most give it a 6.
You know what we're doing right now? What Chelsea fans online don't do. We're using 2 points that make sense, and we're collaborating, and it makes sense overall. What we're saying. What I'm saying is, 8 and a 6 is ideal. We all want 8 and a 6.
No,
we can't get both.
I don't think you understand.
Alex, there is no.
There is no. Because you think
it isn't a no. Have you seen our team play football? We don't transition the ball from defense.
No, it's the first time I saw it. I'm just
against
brand new
Liverpool.
Chelsea fan.
Against Liverpool, for example, man. Then we all watched Liverpool game because all real Chelsea fans. Yeah, if we had someone like an Enzo, for example, who can carry that ball, unlike Gallagher, we score at least 1 goal. Am I lying?
Yes.
We had no one to carry the ball. When Ziyech's getting the ball in the halfway line, he has to create a long ball pass. He ain't got no pace.
I don't even think that game needs carrying. Like
exactly.
You didn't need that. They were compacting the midfield. For me, it was just like trying to hit them on the transition. And Ziyech, I thought
somebody who can actually pass the ball.
Yeah,
no,
we haven't got a specialist who passes the ball well. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I wasn't hating on Ziyech, Couch. I was just saying he had to do a job at 8 would have done. So he was low down the pitch he needed to be.
I don't think you even know how Chelsea looking to play or how Chelsea wants to play. Because if you think that we're looking for that kind of midfielder, no. We're actually looking for the deep line playmakers. The way I understand how Chelsea, and that's my opinion, we going 4-2-3-1, with sometimes 4-2-4-3-3. But if you play 4-2-3-1, what most of the time he played, he makes us play, where are you gonna
You
put the
don't play with
8?
an 8. You don't play an 8 in a 4-2-3-1.
Exactly.
So you play two
So what?
sixes, one 10, and two wingers.
Exactly.
That's
But the
it.
6s are different, not the
Mm.
regular sitters. What
Yeah,
this guy thinks of, and
Yeah.
From what?
for example, so you
Yeah.
think that Enzo is the guy that gonna create you something?
Of course he is. Yeah.
You lost
That's what he is.
already. He's
No, he
really good. What I'm saying, what we need, Enzo, it's not because how good he's going forward. It's how good he can actually be aware of defensive skills.
No,
That's
but
why we need
Alex, I agree.
No,
but
Say,
you
Andrew,
can
very-
no,
very
you're gonna be quiet and let me finish talking.
do you not be,
Then
Alex, can
you
not
know
be
what?
both?
Bye.
you not
You
do
can
both?
talk.
Can
If
you
you
not do
freaking
both?
want. Bye. Fucking idiot.
Just chill,
Listen,
man.
Enzo Fernandez is a creator from the deep line. Now, when you play him in the 6, he will do that. He equally can do the defensive displays as well, and he has got the physical presence. So he kind of has a bit of everything for me. But part of the main reasons why I want him is because of how quick he moves the ball forward, and that doesn't have to be an 8 thing. He can play an 8. He has done for Benfica, and he can do that. You can see him go forward, inside the box, outside the box, take shots, create, make them intricate passes in between the defense that we need when we're trying to break down low blocks. That's what Enzo Fernandez is. And then next to Enzo Fernandez, you do need to have maybe someone that's a little bit more defensively switched on, that maybe
More of a counter player.
can break up the play and intercept.
Sorry, Jim. I was going to say, I'm going to basically comment. The hardest thing to get in football right now for me is an all-arounder midfielder, a guy that can kind of give you a bit of everything. A guy that can make those passes, a guy can break up play, a guy that can dictate tempo. There's just not a lot of guys like that. But that's
can do that. He can do
Chelsea
that.
need.
This is why Jem always talks about Enzo, because Enzo gives you a bit of everything. Everything that he does in terms of him as a midfielder overall, he can defend, he can pass, he can link up, he's not slow.
He's got the eye for a pass, what we need.
Got the eye for the pass. He's young. He's what, 22? How is he? Yeah, 22, right? 21? He's a young guy.
Yeah.
He fits that profile. So for me, I'm not going to get too carried away with the Enzo thing. But again, why are we going to go back in for Enzo if we're not going to pay the money that they're looking for? I know that reports are coming out about the release clause, but realistically, do you think Bowley's going to go back in and put it out there that we're going back in?
Let's not underestimate what these owners can do, because they just they
I just
don't want a situation where we're up against God knows who in the summer. Again, with United being taken over, they could come in for Enzo and things could change. This market, is come with surprises so far. I just don't want a situation where we end up losing out to Enzo, because with that one, the way Arsenal fans are hurt with Mudryk, I'm going to be hurt if Enzo ends up elsewhere, especially in the Premier League.
Oh, mate, I've already said if we don't get Enzo Fernandez, and I've said this for a very long time, and he will go on to another top club, and we will sit there literally punching ourselves. I'm telling you now, this guy.
Yeah, I agree on that, and it's gonna be an issue. But
and people go, yeah, but it's a lot of money, and he hasn't played many games in Portugal, and I'm not too sure. And I know JP's one of them. He always mentions it to me, and he goes, but he's got Messi around him. That's why he looked good at Argentina. No. Have you seen this guy playing for Benfica in the Champions League and what he's done in the last couple of games and how good he is in that Benfica team? In a team, equally, that isn't as, when you think about it on paper, as good as Chelsea as well. On top of that, like, the guy has just got so much ability. And he's got room to improve. I'm not saying he's like the complete article, but what he possesses, there is not many people in world football that can do what he does. And that's what I keep telling people. Him, Frankie de Jong, they're the same for me in many ways. They're that type of player that we need in the team from a creative, a deep line creative area that's going to help us transition a lot quicker, allow us to move forward with confidence, because we know when we give it to that player, we're going to get it back. So we're going to make them runs. We're going to get behind. That's what you need. We don't have that. Every time we give the ball to midfield, we're all half hesitant. We run to the ball. Rather than running the other way, we just want to go to the ball because we're not sure if we're going to get it otherwise. Like
the midfielders that we have right now, it's so true.
Yeah.
The midfielders we have right now don't encourage players to make runs.
Exactly.
They never get the ball.
They don't get the ball.
You need a midfielder that can stretch the field for you, man.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you've got a midfielder that controls games the way Enzo does and what he can do in that midfield, that gives the attackers the confidence to not have to worry about having to track back as much as they should do. They should be tracking back anyway. But if you know you've got a midfielder that's gonna, protect and also control the game from that middle, you just know, right, I need to find the pockets, I need to find the
Exactly.
spaces in attack.
You're
gonna see a lot more
confident, Morgan.
a
Yeah,
lot
you're
more
confident,
confidence. Whereas with the midfielders we've got now, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to track back and help this guy because he's gonna lose the ball or he's gonna give a sloppy pass. When you've got that quality, it definitely improves the team overall as well as the attack. We're gonna see a lot more goals than what we're seeing now.
Of course,
That's why
we
I
need that.
said about
Of course.
yeah. If we don't sign a midfielder, I'm happy with the attackers that we've got, but I'm giving it a 5, man. If we don't sign at least one midfielder, and I'm not talking about anyone on loan.
Yeah, but do
I
you know
mean,
what?
one of the top targets.
Yeah, but the thing with this, Don, and I agree, like the whole midfield thing, and I get it, but like they obviously have their priorities, and it sounds like it's these two. You know what I mean? And if they're not going to sign anyone else because they want these two, and they end up not doing it, and then and then I hope in the summer we try and get it done, or we try and do an Nkunku type deal where we tie down Enzo going up to the summer, so that that we kind of keep him. Or the club Benfica looking at looking around the corners at other bids and whatever, then fine. But I'm stuck in between because I want us to kind of pay the money, even though I think it's a lot of money. At the same time, I think about what he possesses. I'm talking about Enzo more than Caicedo here at the moment. I think about what he would bring to this team in the long run and how much it was like, in my opinion, will solve a lot of what's going on. We still need another one. I don't think he's just enough.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
But like I kind of think like, yeah, do it. But then the flip side of it, I look at it from the money standpoint and why they may not do it, and I'm like, maybe they just can't. Like, do you know what I mean? Like maybe actually for once, maybe they just can't do it for whatever reason. Maybe getting Mudryk for X amount of money maybe pushes us out of being able to think of something like Enzo Fernandez in this window for FFP reasons. I don't know. Like this is why I'm waiting. This is why we're going to wait and see.
You don't think then, based on this conversation, yeah?
Of course, we need to trust in the process. That's what I'm thinking.
In the process, and we have to wait.
To be honest, I want to look a bit in the future, and I want to talk about the summer transfer. So, if I'd really want for Chelsea, like for the next year, to see them having a player, a striker actually, who has the same game style like Diego Costa, maybe. Just so
I actually want Ivan Toney. I'll be honest with you. If he didn't do what he did, I think he would be perfect for us. I'll be honest with you.
But all those FA bridges come to think of you.
Yeah, he does. But if we talk about strikers and what they possess and that Costa style player, I look at Toney as one of them players, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree on that. We can also think of looking for players like in Juventus, actually, now with those minus 15 points deduction, we can get some of their players because we have Champions League football. I'm not sure if they're going to make it to the Champions League football.
We don't have Champions League football.
Yeah, I mean, we can still get Europa League football. I mean, or Conference League.
I don't want it though.
If we manage it. Yeah, I understand it's shit, but it's the best thing you have. You're still gonna say, hey, we play in Europe, and you're gonna attract players. That's the thing. But to be honest, now we should focus on getting the players that we need in the club. Like, if it's Enzo the player we need, okay, get him. But I still have my doubts because he will come from the Portuguese league, and we don't know how he will come up to the level of the Premier
I have no
League.
doubt he's going to be.
I have no doubt about him.
No doubt about that.
He's played in the people forget that he's played in an Argentina team.
To be honest, I haven't seen him how he plays, so I don't have an opinion in that.
It's just the price for me. It's just the price for me. Like you can't.
I agree.
And the reason why you can't play overs is because this little loophole is going to be closing soon. So you can't put yourself in a position where you're showing teams that you're paying overs and overs, because when that loophole closes, you're fucked.
I agree.
And on that note, no, I agree with you, Couch.
I mean, something that Dennis said me before about all-around midfielders. Sorry that I'm bringing it back now up. I mean, if we had an all-around midfielder in our team, I guess if we were kind of smart back in the days and got like Leon Goretzka, maybe that would have been a player that we could have had. But I mean, the guy is just sick. I don't think we could ever had a hand on him. Yeah, that is just a dream, to be honest. Not happening.
Guys, I've got to shoot 2 hours in, 3 o'clock as well. Over 700 people still here. It's been a really good show today. I've appreciated it. Please hit the thumbs before you leave. Leave a comment below. Do you feel Chelsea will get a midfielder or not? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe both to Chelsea Fan TV and GNA TV. Obviously, GNA TV is on its way to 10K, and we're getting there slowly and surely. And Chelsea Fan TV is on its way to 200K. So please, before you leave, subscribe, leave a comment, smash the like. Hope you enjoyed it today. It's been a good show overall. We'll be back, hopefully, fingers crossed, with some more positive Chelsea transfer news for us to discuss as well. And obviously, we will probably have the panel back as always in the show as well. But it's been good. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. And we'll be back again very, very soon. Take care, guys. See you later.